In the quietest apocalypse the world would ever know, humanity fell not to fire or plague, but to silence. The invaders were blind, their armored skin impervious to bullets, their hearing so acute they could detect the rustle of fabric from across a field. The only rule of this new world: make a sound, and you die. The Carter family survived longer than most. Daniel, a former engineer, turned their isolated farm into a fortress of silence. Sand-covered paths to muffle footsteps. Hand signals instead of speech. Even their breaths were measured, controlled. His wife Sarah adapted quickly, their deaf daughter Mia becoming their greatest asset in this soundless hell. But their youngest, Noah, he was just a child. And children don't always understand fear. A toy spaceship. That's all it took. One moment of weakness, one flick of a switch, and the electronic chirping echoed through the trees like a dinner bell. Daniel ran, but he wasn't fast enough. Noah's scream was cut short. And Mia. She would never forgive herself. A year passed. Sarah, now heavily pregnant, moved through the house like a ghost. Jason, their surviving son, had grown quiet in ways that had nothing to do with survival. And Mia? She visited Noah's grave every day, her hands forming words no one could hear. Then, the unthinkable. Sarah's water broke. Labor came fast, too fast. A misstep, a single dropped picture frame, and the glass shattered like a gunshot. Within seconds, something was in the house with her. Something hungry. The red emergency lights flared, Daniel's failsafe. The creatures hated light, but they loved sound. And Sarah was in agony, biting her lip until it bled to keep from crying out. The thing in the basement stalked closer, drawn by the muffled whimpers she couldn't suppress. An egg timer bought her seconds. The creature hissed, distracted by the metallic clicks, and she ran, barely making it upstairs before the thing gave chase. Daniel and Jason saw the red lights from the woods. Fireworks, their last resort, lit up the sky, buying Sarah just enough time. But the baby came anyway, its first cry piercing the night. And the creatures, they heard it. Mia, sprinting home, saw the chaos. Daniel barricaded them in the barn, but the baby wouldn't stop crying. The walls shook as something heavy slammed against them. Then, a miracle. Mia's cochlear implant, malfunctioning from the creature's presence, emitted a shrill feedback. The monster screeched, clawing at its head like the sound was drilling into its skull. That's when they understood. The armor had a weakness. A frequency. A weapon. Daniel didn't hesitate. He grabbed his shotgun, aimed for the exposed flesh beneath the creature's head plates, and fired. The thing collapsed. But outside, the trees rustled with movement. Dozens more were coming, drawn by the gunshot. Now, armed with their only hope, the Carters stand ready. The baby is swaddled against Sarah's chest. Jason clutches a knife. Mia holds the microphone that amplifies her implant's feedback, their last line of defense. The creatures circle the house, their breath rattling like dry leaves. And the only question left is who will break the silence first. If you want to see more thrilling stories like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll be sharing more content soon, so stay tuned.